But let's talk a little bit. We'll move into talking about the 3num shields. And so, for kind of context and background for folks, we went through a bunch of different ideas in just terms of the different styles, like the feeling that we want to convey and some of the emotional elements. And then you really pulled from a lot of different inspirations. Can you talk? People haven't seen them yet. We will be sharing them soon. But can you kind of talk
Mm.
about some of those inspirations that went into your creativity and sort of the design elements for the shields that we're launching?
Oh, absolutely. So when I first read your brief, and it was like you guys wanted to do a shield, and you did have, I mean, thankfully you did have kind of like a, what did you call it? Like a few samples pulled out, like a lookbook
Yeah,
kind of thing.
sure.
Pulled out.
A rough lookbook, but one,
Yes.
yeah,
No, it was a decent one of just like you had pulled things like images that y'all were kind of feeling and inspired by, and I knew it was a shield. So I had something to work from. It wasn't like just pulling it out of thin air. I will say though, like even just the shield and like having a face on the shield at first was kind of a challenge for me. I'm like, how is that gonna work?
right,
How could I make that look right? And in my brain, I was going through all the different possibilities from making it look like a very realistic shield, which I mean, admittedly, I don't know if I would have been the best person for that. And then, working like more stylized and maybe an abstract kind of a shield, which is kind of where I landed. Um, and then I started doing a lot of research and just Googling like shields and I don't know, like when I thought shields and faces, I just and looking at your look sheet, I was immediately already thinking, like, connecting the dots of, like, something kinda traditional looking, something that pulled maybe, like, historical, because shields, I mean, I don't know, we don't really use shields too much these days, so
sure,
is kind of a historical tool,
sure.
and researching, I landed and I don't remember what kind of weird tangent led me down this Google hole. I really landed on Chinese opera masks and makeup because they have very graphic, eye markings, very vivid and abstract, like mouth, and just it's a whole vibe. And then
Yeah,
I thought those features, those exaggerated features, could just lend really well to being displayed on top of a shield. So pulled a lot from there. While I kept researching, I also like those features that I was drawing from Chinese opera masks also reminded me of lucha libre masks. And so it just started kind of pulling references from both points, which makes sense because I am Chinese. I'm from the South. Like I'm from South Texas and we have a lot of like these combined cultures here. Um, and I don't know, I just was really excited by that possibility and just start sketching and drawing colors from the different combos and features, and they just seem to work, and I think
yeah.
you guys agreed, so we were on the
They
same
work
page.
so well.